I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Elick?
Here.
Ms. Karstafen?
Here.
Mr. Bax?
Here.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Here.
And Mrs. Seguin?
Here.
Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello, and welcome to the February 19th, 2020 Elyria School Board meeting. I'd like to introduce our group up here. To my right is Board Member Jim Bax. To his right is Board Member Elaine Sequin. I am Greg Elick. Germs and cough and all, I do apologize. To my left is our board member and vice president who's moving away, Andy Karstafen. To her left is board member Mike Gebhardt. To his left is our superintendent Ann Slosh. And to her left is our award-winning treasurer, Joy Clickinger. At this time, I'd like to take a moment of silence. Unfortunately, we lost one of our own. We lost second grader Lillian Sanchez, and I'd like to take a moment of silence in her honor, please. Thank you. Okay. Moving along on the agenda, I believe we do not have any recognition or presentations, but we do have a visitor today. We have somebody that signed up a week in advance, and they will be afforded 15 minutes. So could I please have Ms. Teresa Merriweather come forward?
Let's go. When we get in this hair salon, I don't want no problems out of you two. You hear me? You hear me? You know what happened to the other girl last night, right? They're gonna find her in that field, dead. Do you want that to happen to you? Let's get in here and get this done and over with. Let's go. What?
Can we get some of that stuff that you sent away? I'm nervous.
You mean this? Hurry up. Put it in your mouth. And swallow it. Let's go.
Hi, welcome to After Hair Salon. How may I help you?
Yeah, you look pretty young.
Yes, I'm licensed, so I promise.
All right, so, you do walk-ins, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you want to make the money?
Of course.
All right, you got any more customers coming?
Not for a while.
All right, these two, this is my daughter.
Hi.
That's her friend.
Hi.
This is Kaylee and that's Tara.
Okay.
They don't talk much. All right, me and my man, we getting ready to go on vacation. Her dad. This is my daughter.
Okay.
But, I need their hair done. Can you hurry up and color it?
Sure, what all do you want done? I mean, what
Um,
exactly?
For her hair, I want it cut in a bob. Blonde, dyed blonde, okay? Right here, you see, a hot mess. Her mom's on drugs.
Aww.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get her hair done for her too. So, yeah, I need hers spiral perm. All right, and can you do it red? Like a creamy red? They don't talk much. They're mad because they got in trouble last night and heading on vacation. And they might not be going, her friend might not be going with us, but can you hurry up and get this done?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so,
Where are we going first?
and look, I'm gonna give you an extra $25 per person, per head, if you hurry up and get us out of here in the next 3 hours.
Money's hot, so I'll get you done.
One more thing,
Yes.
ma'am, what about eyebrows? Do you do eyebrows here?
Yeah, we do like a high arch, low arch, medium arch.
Whatever, it's just, just take care of it. Their eyebrows are a mess.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
Okay.
So she's going first.
Okay, have a seat. Okay, you said you want your hair cut short and blonde?
Yes, short, bob.
Yeah.
All right, can you understand English pretty well?
Yes.
Okay, so short, blonde, all right, bob cut.
Okay,
Thank you.
sounds all right. I got you.
All right. So, real quick, my name is Teresa Merriweather. I train on human trafficking awareness throughout the state of Ohio and this country. What you just saw right here was a signs of a trafficked victim, 2 of them coming in, as I'm the top chick, coming in here with the 2 of them. I'm gonna allow these 2, go ahead. If they can go around really quickly, right here, excuse me. Here. Can you show really quickly? Some things that you may see. I'm gonna walk you guys. You can show the audience really quickly. Governor Kasich, during his tenure, he mandated that every licensed cosmetologist had to have 1 continuing education hour on human trafficking awareness in order to renew their license or obtain a licensure, and this is why. Right now, you'll see a lot of these victims of human trafficking, they're coming through hair salons. They're the transit transformation process. As a Elyria, native of Elyria and an alumni of Elyria School District, I was blessed to be able to meet Amy Higgins, who allowed me to train school teachers. I've trained almost 200 since November the 6th or the 7th for Professional Education Day. I trained almost 100 that day, and I believe 89 or over 89, I don't know the statistics.
89,
yes,
good.
89 back on January 17th, showing them what it looks like for human trafficking victims to keep these kids safe and to train them on, and the teachers, how to recognize a trafficking victim, any of the students who are involved in sex trafficking, and then also labor trafficking as well. So I'm so thankful to be able to have presented before you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to do the pilots so that all the students will be able to be trained on human trafficking awareness, how to keep themselves safe, and if they were to fall victim of sex trafficking or human trafficking, how to get themselves out of that situation. And hopefully be added support as now. I've just taken my seat on last Monday on the Global Alliance Human Trafficking Task Force representing the United States in my training. So I thank you guys for allowing me to present. This is just a little bit what my training looks like, and thank you guys for having us.
Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you. Okay, that was very informative. Ms. Merriweather, we appreciate you taking the time to go over that with us, and for also getting involved with our school too. So outstanding. Okay, moving along on the agenda to board member discussion items. Any new discussion items today?
No.
No, with none, we'll move along to the minutes. They have been posted for the February 5th, 2020 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Karstoffen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Gebhardt. Any questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elliott?
Aye, motion carries. Madam Treasurer, action items this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. My first item is to accept the financial reports for January 2020. The second item is to acknowledge and express appreciation for the gifts and donations as listed in your agenda. The third item is to approve the attached list of purchase orders in order to comply with our purchasing procedures. And that's it.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Treasurer's action items?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Board Member Bax. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Karstoffen. Questions? I have a question. I'd like to know who's out doing the fundraising for the Elyria robotics team? I see them on here quite a bit.
Actually, the Highland software, we have a couple students that are interning through
Okay.
one of our Project Lead the Way and CCP courses at the high school, and when they were talking about it, they actually just offered.
Really?
So I know that one came through that
Okay.
that route.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Madam Superintendent, could you fill me in on the purchase order on Renaissance Learning?
Sure.
What exactly is that?
That's, if I believe this is STAR Natalie, okay. STAR is one of the benchmark programs. We have to benchmark students several times a year for the state to see their reading level for the reading benchmark, and STAR is what we use in K through 2.
Ah.
It's the software program we use.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Other reports today, Madam Treasurer?
Just one item. I'd like a motion. I'm recommending to appoint the board members, Mr. Bax and Ms. Karstafen, as the primary representatives, with the rest of the board as alternates for an expulsion appeal hearing. The date is March 4th at 4 o'clock at the administrative building.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Board Member Sequin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Gebhardt. Questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Okay. So also on the OFCC, did you want to go over that, or did you want me
Yes,
to?
I just have one item on the OFCC project, and that is to recommend that the approval of the GMP Amendment 5.1 to the CMR agreement with AECom for the early site package and the FF&E package work at the new K-8 Westwood School. And this is just the early site package, it's not the building.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Board Member Gebhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Karstoffen. Comments and questions. Mr. Bax, you want to briefly give us a little explanation on why we have a partial GMP for Westwood compared to the other schools, please?
This particular GMP is strictly for the development of the site, of the ground in this area. Actually, other than being to prepare the ground for that building, I'm not sure if, is this the first one that
Yeah,
we've
this
done
is the
as
first
separate pieces?
No,
Oh, no, we didn't.
There isn't?
we did Eastern Heights.
Yeah.
So this is for,
This is strictly for the Westwood, this is for the new Westwood building.
and my understanding is to get on time, we had to do it this way, is that correct?
We didn't have to, but it will be a help.
Okay. Because that is on schedule with Eastern Heights, which is well ahead of the curve already, so this gives them the ability to obviously catch up, so.
Theoretically, it could shave a couple of months.
Couple of months?
A couple of months off the total GMP.
Okay. All right, any questions on this GMP? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries to approve the GMP for the Westwood site work. Okay, moving along on the agenda, superintendent action items. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you. First of all, to approve the payment of the stipends as listed below. Some tutoring going on by the teachers in the month of March, some extra reading tutoring and/or math. Also, to approve the overnight field trip for the robotics team to the state tournament in Marion. To approve the Elyria High athletes to attend the GCC Athletic Leadership Conference. And to approve the contract for the Special Olympics assistant to Angel Dome. And that concludes my action items.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the superintendent action items?
Move to approve.
A motion by Board Member Bax. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Sequin. Any questions or comments? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
And Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Motion carries. Personnel action items. Madam Superintendent?
Thank you. First of all, to approve the appointment of the following certified staff. We have Tiffany Spinks, who is an intervention specialist at the Early Childhood Center, and a couple substitute teachers and a home instruction tutor. To approve the athletic supplemental contracts for the following certified, classified, non-district employees. To approve the resignation of the following classified staff. To approve the unpaid leave of absence for the following classified staff. To approve the appointment of the following classified staff. And then to approve the one-year limited contract of the following classified staff. We also have to approve the appointment of a security officer as listed below, and that concludes my personnel action items.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the superintendent personnel action items?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Karstoffen. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Board Member Gebhardt. Any questions or comments?
Are the coaches, are they new? I'm not familiar with the
A couple of them are new. We've had some coaches move on and change positions, and we have a few new ones and a few volunteer coaches. So it's always good to have some new faces.
Any other questions? Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Madam Superintendent, do you have anyone you'd like to introduce today?
I do. First of all, I'd like to introduce Yolanda Horton. She is a new special education paraprofessional at Crestwood. Welcome, Yolanda.
Welcome, Yolanda.
And then also Tiffany Spinks, who is an intervention specialist at the Early Childhood Center.
Welcome.
And they got their new Pioneer shirts to wear the next Spirit Day,
All
right?
right. Whoop. Oh, that was on. Question, what's our numbers up to as far as subs? Since that's-
83.
Oh, it's
83.
83.
Okay,
83, yeah.
83? Okay.
Right.
And we have two more that are waiting for certification, so we're climbing.
Okay.
Are you trying to reach that 100 mark with Sam?
You know,
No.
we're always trying,
Yeah, to get
because
there.
it's still, it's hard with unfilled days. As you know, Mr. Elick and myself suffering from a cold, there's a lot of things going around right now, and it's hard to cover those classes. So we'd love to have as many as we can.
Yeah.
Wasn't it just 2 years ago we were right around 120?
Yes, I can remember days over 150, so, but that seems to be, there's a shortage across the state, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, Madam Superintendent, do you have a superintendent report for us this evening?
Yeah, just a few things. First of all, I would like to congratulate the wrestlers, the state runner-up in the duel. They'll go back to Columbus in March for the individual, but that's a huge accomplishment. They came real close to beating St. Ed's for the first time in the duel, but they have a lot to be proud of. So congratulations to Coach Burnett and the team. Also, this Friday, I will be at Leadership Lorraine County Gala over at the college, but it is senior night for a lot of the winter sports at the basketball game. I think the swim team, the cheerleaders, the basketball team, you name it. So there's a lot going on if anyone would like to go. We would like to remind parents, we do have robocalls going out throughout the week about the cohort choice forms that are due this week, end of this week, for the new boundaries. So please, if you have any questions, you can call 284-8203 or go online and there's information online. And then also, we found out this week that the Nordson Corporation fully funded our grant for all 3 maker spaces in the new
wow.
campus buildings.
Wow, that's great.
So to the tune of $148,000. So
Wow.
I'd like to commend Kathy Kapp, Natalie, Brian, and
Wow,
everyone
that's
that
great.
worked on that. Again, Cecilia Render and her team at Nordson are just wonderful people, and they keep on giving.
Wow, that's great.
So that'll help us a lot.
Okay.
Yep.
And that is it.
Great. Okay, thank you, Madam Superintendent. Okay, moving along on the agenda, Board of Education. I don't believe we have any items. Are there any last things for the good of the cause from our board members? No, with none, and we do not have a executive session, so I would like to move to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Board Member Karstoffen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Sequin. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. We are adjourned. Have a good night.
Thank you.